Hello everybody, my name is Daniel Richardson and I'm the WCPW review guy, and I am instantly regretting this hairdo right here. But let's move right along, because this is the no regret review. There it is. It has been a while. It has been like 2 full weeks since we've had any WCPW content. Like, no bonus matches, nothing. Like, literally, they went from like one qualifying tournament. No, last one was, oh shit, the State of Emergency. So we went like from State of Emergency like to no regrets. I don't know, I'm gonna be happy when the entire it comes back. I'll be happy when we go back to, you know, weekly loadeds and whatnot. So let's go into this right now. Now first I'll discuss the we have a bit of a delay, not as bad as it wasn't last time. I forget which round it was, but when they basically just erased the entire pre-show and we moved on without it. But we did have a bit of delay, and it's funny because like when you're on Twitter, well actually on everything, Twitter and YouTube, like people just lose their fucking minds. Like, it is hilarious. And I'm not gonna lie, I mean, I'm not helping that because I'm constantly just like, where's it at? Where's it at? What's going on? But no, so but you know, YouTube, it started about, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes late maybe. And I could be exact, maybe about 10 minutes, but they got started late there. But then, of course, when it switched over for the main show, which was on the What Culture Extra, or I guess the Fight app, it was funny because everybody started freaking out again because, you know, when you go on the, if you don't have Extra, you go on the Extra thing and it has 2 different like streams. You got the regular stream and the mirror stream, and like I usually just use the regular stream, but like I click on that and like nothing. Like, just blank. Like, not even an error message, just like, it's not there. And I was like, oh shit. So I went to the mirror one, and I had to refresh like several times. I don't know if anybody, I know everybody else was having a little bit of trouble too, because I was keeping in, you know, contact with a tight circle of, you know, fellow WCPW enthusiasts. And we were all just like losing our shit. I'm not gonna lie, that's the great thing about technology today. Like, literally, when shit goes wrong, you can rely, you can at least have someone talk you through it. That's the bad thing though, is like no one can really help you. Like, I can't remember which paper or which event it was. They had the pay-per-view, but like the stream was just shit. I couldn't watch it till like the next day, and I was just like losing my shit. And everybody was like, "Oh, it sucks. I'm sorry." And they're there for you, you know, for that moral support. But then in the end, you're ultimately alone. But luckily, you know, everything worked out all right for me and my, you know, circle of friends. So it worked out pretty good. I will say this though. I mean, it's just like, what's going on over there? Like, this is literally like, you know. And of course, everybody's like, I guess the reason for the delay was they were having trouble getting people in. I'm like, maybe open the doors a little earlier. Like, I don't know what the situation is. Maybe you can't. Maybe when you go to the arenas, they're like, listen, you can't open these doors until this time. That's your problem. If you got, you know, 3 minutes to fill seats, we don't care. But I'm thinking, then why don't you push the time back then or something? I don't know. But this is like the second time. But once again, this wasn't as bad as last time, so I'm not going to bust too much balls on that. As far as the actual like feed, I thought the feed was really good. My stream worked really well. It's been like a couple times, which was never anything bad, but it's been a couple times it kind of lagged or whatever, and that may have just been my internet connection as well, so I'm not going to, you know, throw the blame on them. They had a little bit of audio problem, but nothing that was too major. It wasn't nearly as bad as the State of Emergency, which I don't think that was problems as far as like technical, as far as it was just like shitty mics. They don't have good mics like this. Yeah, but once again, everything else went really good. So packed house, like, I don't know, dude, the crowd, I loved it. Like, this huge crowd right here. And for the pre-show, you know, we got our commentary team of Matt Stryker and Dave Bradshaw. And I don't want to keep harping on this because I mean, I swing on Alex Shane's nuts enough. I do miss the guy. I really do. However, I do like the team of Matt Stryker and Dave Bradshaw, and I think they're both doing really good. I don't know, to me it just seemed like, and I'm sure it's just his character, because he's like a really nice guy in real life. It did seem like Matt Stryker early on would just kind of crap on Bradshaw. Like, just kind of take these little jabs at him. I think that's just kind of his thing. But I know Bradshaw just bounces right back, and he's like, you know, he's keeping up with him, and just, he has a reply to him now. It's just, it's great. So they definitely got a, you know, a decent dynamic there. But that's for the pre-show. We'll get to the special guest commentator at the regular show. But let's talk about that pre-show right off the bat. we've seen a tag team of El Hijo de Dos Caras and Drago before. They re-teamed to go up against Juventud Guerrera and Rey Fenix. Now, I'm not familiar with Lucha Underground. Apparently that's where Rey Fenix wrestles. First time I met him, first time I seen him in action. But dude, Juventud Guerrera, man, like WCW cruiserweight, like the golden age of cruiserweights in WCW, man, like he was like one of the guys, like along with Rey Mysterio, he was one of the guys leading the charge. So it was really cool to see him back in action. This match, it was fun to watch, fast-paced. It did seem a bit sloppy. They tried to, I'm not saying this is it or not, they did say like the ropes were a little too springy, and that could have been it. And who knows? I mean, it may have been, but it did seem like, they were just kind of, and I don't want to keep using I don't want to use the word botch because once again, but it did seem like it was a bit sloppy. But that aside, still a very fun match to watch. Karras is getting better. Like, he was just like a sloppy luchador when he first kind of entered WCPW. And this, I don't know if it's like his third or fourth match, but I notice he's getting a lot better right now. So, yeah, I enjoyed the pre-show. Like I said, got me amped up. I noticed I got everybody online amped up. And, of course, the crowd got amped up. So, and that's what a pre-show, dark match is supposed to do. Or, I guess, a YouTube match is supposed to do. Of course, it ends with Rey Fenix hitting like a tombstone, like a sit-out tombstone on Drago, and I was like, oh shit. I was not expecting those two guys to go over. I figured Karras and Drago would go over, but no, Phoenix and Guerrera go over, so, and I was happy about that because I was actually wanting them to win, just because of nostalgia. Like, I was just like, Juventud, Hoovy, the juice. Back with a mask, too. That kind of threw me off a little bit, too. I was like, oh, wow, he's wearing a mask again? But last time I saw him in like a shoot interview, dude, like he looked pretty rough, so I can see the mask. I'm thinking about getting a mask, actually. I think that's going to be my next gimmick over here on this channel, is don a mask and see how that works out. So anyways, Juventud and Phoenix win, and that ends the pre-show. So now we move on to No Regrets. And right off the bat, we are accompanied by Stu Bennett, formerly Bad News Barrett, and yeah, he's joined us on commentary. And I was just kind of like, and once the end, it's just, this is not a complaint because I will say this team went on to do excellent things, but just like the little fucking mark inside me, just like, where's Alex Shane? Like, I was just like, I miss Alex Shane. And it seems like there's like a mixed reaction online because some people were just like, yeah, we're better without him. I disagree. I love Alex Shane. I miss the guy. I don't know what he's doing. Is he okay? He's not like missing or something, is it? Like Primate didn't get a hold of him, did he? I mean, that'd be horrible. But either way, Stu Bennett comes out there and really did, I mean, this team, and I'm not just saying this team just killed it. Like, they literally knocked it out of the park. This was honestly, as much as I, pole ride Alex Shane on a daily basis, I gotta say this is probably my favorite combination of Bennett, Stryker, and Bradshaw. There was not a weak link, and it didn't feel like anybody was like taking time from anybody else. Like, I just remember when it was like a JR, Shane, and Cornette. Like, Shane kind of got pushed to the side, and it was all. And once again, I'm sure he was okay with that because it was two legends or whatever. But here it seemed like they were all contributing perfectly, and it was like the perfect three-man combination because, whenever you got a two-man group, it's usually face and heel. One does the commentary and the other does, the color. He has the color to it. One does play-by-play, one does color. But when you got three, it's like, what's everybody's role? And I know it's like the perfect three-person group is usually you just got face and heel, and then you got the third guy who is the technical play-by-play guy. And they got that here because Stu Bennett kind of starts off kind of nice, but then he just quickly drops to the heel, like, and I love it. He did great at it, and I just love his voice. Like, his voice is just so gravelly. It's just great. And then, of course, Bradshaw was the good guy. He was, the face, and, did his play-by-play. But then, of course, Stryker was, like, your technical analysis guy, because that dude's just, he's fucking awesome. Like, I can't say that enough. I love Matt Stryker. Like, I wanted to hate this guy in the very beginning because I'm just like, he's taking jobs from the regular WCW. No, he's great. I mean, there's a reason why he's commentating right now, and I gotta say, like I said, this, in my opinion, this team, this three, perfect. Like, honestly, I mean, I'm sure this is a one-time only thing. However, I would love to see these guys come back again and do this three-man team. So, yeah, enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. So let's get on to the actual event. We're going to kick things off with Travis Banks going up against Penta El Om. That's not his name. It's 0M at the end. But for some reason, that's what the time card says, or the little thing came up. So anyways, really good match. Solid match. Dude, Banks is just awesome. Like, literally, he is just kicking so much ass right now. Like, he looked incredible during this match right here. Freaking loved it. I will say it's kind of odd. He did not come out with the Prestige theme. Because they all have, like, separate themes now. With, like, the air horn siren going over the top and then the individual songs or whatever. Which are all horrible, by the way. The only one I actually like is when they're a group. And I go on the WCPW YouTube channel, see what me, they got like all 5, songs on there, and they're all different. But there's one that's like just the group, and that is the best song, and they don't play that much. Like, they haven't been teaming up lately, so I'm like, son of a bitch. But anyway, he came out with his old theme, which really kind of threw me off, but it is what it is, whatever. Not a major complaint, because I was just like, continuity, who needs it? He had his t-shirt on, so we knew he's Prestige. Anyway, so yeah, this match freaking solid, and it ends when Travis Banks pins Penta El0M with his Slice of Heaven finisher. I was like, holy shit. I was wanting Banks to win. And I need to apologize too. I did not do a predictions video. It's been pretty hectic over on this side of the camera, so I didn't get a chance to get around to it like I was wanting to. But WCPW did a video. It's like, what are your predictions? Drop them down below. And yeah, I was wanting Banks to win. But I just like, well, Penta will probably go over. No, Banks won greatly. Like, literally taking the best that Penta had to offer. Like, he looked, it made Banks look incredible. So, yeah, congratulations, Travis Banks. It was a great showing. The match looked great. But it was an awesome match. But you looked awesome coming out of it, too. So, I was really happy about that. So, up next, my least favorite match of the night. It was Prince Ameen versus Brandi Rhodes. And I wasn't, like, against this match starting off because I was like, it was good storytelling. It was fun. I mean, they had a whole little, like, Twitter beef thing going on. So I was okay with this match being silent. Like, once again, I get it. So it wasn't like, but it just seemed like this match, it just never felt good. Like, the last time we had, like, an intergender kind of match, it was Evilise. And don't get me wrong, that match was a little sloppy at times. But it seemed to work. Like, she looked natural in there. This match, like, Brandi Rhodes never looked like she was comfortable in the ring. Like, it was just, I don't know, awkward and clunky. Like, at one point, like, on the outside, she goes to hit, like, Prince Ameen, just, like, misses by a mile. She goes over the barricade, and then Ameen just throws himself over the barricade. I'm just like, oh, this is like a train wreck. This is hard to watch right here. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, it was like that throughout. Like, they would just kind of miss moves, but, like, Ameen would sell anyways. And it was just, like, I don't know. I never buy intergender matches because I'm thinking to myself, like, dude, just punch her in the fucking face repeatedly. Like, just repeatedly. Like, seriously, if I'm a wrestler where, violence is okay, and they put me in a match against a woman, I'm sorry. I'm not going to goof around and show my arrogance. I'm just going to kick her in the fucking face repeatedly. Like, and the thing is, like, Brandi Rhodes, like, she's, in good shape. In the women's division, I would buy her as a wrestler. She's not an intergender wrestler. Like, I'm not buying her as, like, someone who can hang with the other guys. And it means, like, he's a decent-sized guy. So, I don't know, this was a little ridiculous. Now, granted, Ameen kind of saved it by playing the Andy Kaufman, if you will, and he was kind of like, toying with her a lot. Because that's usually how you got to do these matches when there's such as far as, like, body sizes, when there's a huge mismatch here. You gotta play it like he's just too cocky, and maybe that can be his undoing, but it's just like she just did not deliver anything believable as far as, like, offense or whatever. So, like, the whole time I'm just like, man, like, just kick her in the throat. Like, seriously, like, I'm not against, don't get me wrong, I'm not condoning violence against women, but if you're in a squared circle and it's an intergender match and it's legal, just fucking beat the shit out of her. Like, beat the fucking shit out of her. Like, literally make an example, elbow her right in the fucking face. Go Brock Lesnar over Orton SummerSlam last year on her. Like, that's what I would do. Like, get out of my ring. But it was clearly a match made for comedy. And then he goes for the flying carpet. He has Brandi Rhodes laid out, goes for the flying carpet, which he misses. Which I gotta say right now, I do love hearing Matt Stryker and Dave Bradshaw sing A Whole New World. Just personal favorite for me. And I just love that Stu Bennett is like, guys, shut up. I love that. Like I said, this team was great. Like I just love the dynamic and the chemistry of this team. Anyways, Ameen misses the whole new world flying carpet, magic carpet splash. But Brandi Rhodes takes it and then hits it and wins the match. 1, 2, 3. Ameen was pinned clean in a match against Brandi Rhodes. Like he was literally spending like over half a year or more, almost a year. We're getting close to the 1-year anniversary of WCPW. So like an entire year just like riding Kid, and we look at Prince Ameen's win-loss record, it ain't much better. And he has losses like this. At least Kid's losing to like respectable wrestlers. Ameen lost to Brandi Rhodes, and then we'll get to his other elimination, which was a little bit more realistic later, but we'll get to that. But yeah, my least favorite match of the night. I won't even sugarcoat it. I might want to say like, you know, my fifth ranked match of No Regrets. No, it was just my least favorite, flat out. Was not. It just went way too long, and I was just like, come on, let's get to wrestling. I did turn into Jim Cornette there. I was like, I want wrestling. Just get away from this shit. So okay, up next it is the triple threat match for the Internet Championship. It's Joe Hendry going up against Gabriel Kidd, going up against Cody Rhodes, and I was really looking forward to this match. I'll be honest with you, I was wanting Rhodes to drop the title. I really was. Because even though, once again, I didn't hold a grudge against him for missing whatever shows he missed, but it was just kind of like, I don't know, even though I'm sure whatever gig he went to paid more or whatnot, I'm like, dude, this was your like obligations, and you're the Internet Champion. So I feel like as a booker, I would just be like, you know what, you lost your title. Like and that's just that part of me was coming out. So I was like, I want him to lose the title, and so I just assumed Hendry was going to win it. Like seriously, I was like, Hendry's got this one, and so this match goes on. It's really good, and I love at one point, you know, it's Hendry and Rhodes on the outside, and like Rhodes goes down like he's like a suplex or something on the ramp, and like he first took a knee to the head from Kid on the outside when Kid did like this moonsault, and then yeah, it just fucked him up and he was down. So at one point, like the extra referees come out and Brandi Rhodes comes back out. So it looks like, you know, that's how they're gonna take Cody Rhodes out of this. He's gonna lose the title without actually being pinned. And I was like, all right, I'm cool with that, whatever. So Hendry runs back down there and it's him and Kid, and then Cody Rhodes comes back out and I was like, oh shit. He hits the Crossroads. Who did he hit on? I think he hit on Kid, and then yeah, Hendry goes to pin Kid, and Kid kicks out. And I'm thinking to myself, like, there was not enough time for like that. So this like made Kid look awesome. Like he was just like, Crossroads, shoulder up. Don't think so. Like it was almost instantaneous. Like he hits him with the Crossroads. Hendry goes for the pin, and like Rhodes is just like over to the side for a second, and then like literally Kid kicked out. So I mean, literally, Kid would have kicked out of the Crossroads if Cody Rhodes would have pinned him. Like that's how quick it was. Which, like I said, makes Kid look incredible. Yeah, so Hendry, he put the ankle lock, and that's one thing too. Sorry, the Hendry lock. I will say there was a lot of spots in there I liked. Like I loved when Rhodes was in the Hendry lock, and like Kid goes in there and like grabs his arm so he won't tap out and drags him to the rope, which I thought was really cool. But anyways, Cody Rhodes throws Hendry out of the ring, and when he goes for Kid hits him with a small package. 1, 2, 3. Dude, I literally, like, there's always like that one moment in each event where I do just kind of pop. And I hadn't had a good pop in a while. Like, you know, it just seems like the last few events, you know, where they haven't been, you know, bad, but they hadn't been great either. They've been missing these kind of moments, and then I popped. I was like, holy shit. I popped more here than I did for the eventual winner of the Rumble, which I'll get to. We won't wrong, I popped loud for that too, but this was even more, because it was just like, what? I would not. I would have lost. If I would have bet like paychecks for this, and you know, you're like, you know, Daniel, you got to lay down an entire paycheck. Who do you think is going to win this? I would have been like, well, anybody but Kid. Your Rhodes is going to retain, or it's going to Hendry. Not Kid. Nah, dude, Kid wins. Kid finally breaks his losing streak. He's got like a 5% like, you know, win percentage here, but it's like still he wins. I mean, he won the Internet Championship in freaking incredible. Oh, so happy. So, yeah, Ameen comes out there, gives him a hug. Rhodes comes out there, and then of course Rhodes goes back in there and puts the belt on. Dude, it was a great moment. It really was. Like, this is what being a WCPW fan's all about. Like, it's just little payoff moments like this. Once again, he was kind of the dark horse in the match altogether. And once again, even I was just like, nah, he ain't gonna win this. There ain't no way. Like, he ain't win this shit. No, he won. And he is the new internet champion. How awesome is that? I'm sorry, I'm talking. You guys probably can't even hear me. The microphone's out of my hands. Oh, there we go. Got back. So, yeah, I was just like, fuck yeah. So, incredible moment. It was awesome. Like, literally, it was epic. So, congratulations, Gabriel Kidd. Like, fucking sweet. So, yeah, there you go. Kid. And he pinned Rhodes. That's like the best thing about it. Like, it was no crazy shenanigans. You know, they can't blame it later on. Like, well, you know, he did quick. No. He pinned him clean. 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. Gabriel Kidd, new internet champion. Awesome. So they go ahead and announce that apparently Alberto El Patron was sick and couldn't show up. The guy gets stabbed, allegedly, and shows up, no problem. Here he has a cold. He's like, I can't make it. So him and Joe Coffey, which I was looking forward to that match. I really was. But once again, I'm not speculating that, you know, Patron, you know, wasn't sick. I'm sure, you know, probably was. Just thought it was funny. Like, thinking back, like, you know, when he stabbed and still showed up at like one of the events and like had his arm all bandaged up and shit. He was like, get stabbed, I'll make it to work. Got cold now, staying home. So yeah, so we were didn't get that, and we didn't get a replacement match, but you know, it is what it is. Moving on now to we got El Ligero versus Rey Mysterio, and this match was really good too. Dude, I'm digging El Ligero here. My biggest complaint of like El Ligero in the past few months was like, I'm just tired of the goofy shit. It's like, dude, you can be like, and like Matt Striker said this about Gabriel Kidd earlier on, or maybe it's Stu Bennett, but one of them was like, you know, if you start winning matches, then yeah, you can goof off and do whatever, but until you start winning those matches. And then he was like Ligero in like important, high-profile for the Ring of Honor title matches would just be goofing off and like shaking hands and acting goofy and doing cartwheels. I'm like, dude, fuck off. Like, seriously, like, how am I supposed to take you seriously when there's actual goal on the line and you're just goofing off? And here it was, him against Rey Mysterio, and I was expecting the same thing. I really was. Like, he's just going to go out there, he's going to just goof around. They'll probably have a spot where they switch masks underneath the ring. I don't know. They'll just do some crazy wackiness. None of that. And I was so happy. Dude, Ligero has a bit of a mean streak in him. At one point, Mysterio, after having like a nice little wrestle back and forth, Mysterio goes to shake his hand, and when Ligero goes to shake it, he just wraps around him, roll up, 1, 2, like try to steal one. I was like, yes, yes. This match, I said, was really good. Mysterio seemed like Ligero was slowing down for Mysterio. It just seemed like Mysterio was just kind of like any kind of botchery was Mysterio. Like, I don't know, it just seemed like Ligero had to kind of slow his style down a little bit, maybe even the speed. And I'm not saying like it was just completely, like I said, it wasn't bad, because they didn't detract from the match, but I just noticed like anytime there was kind of an awkward moment, it seemed to be because of, you know, Mysterio like not hitting his footing right or whatever. And I think the big notable moment there was at the end when Mysterio goes for the 619, and he just like slips right through the ropes. And once again, I mean, those ropes, I've heard from numerous people that they get slick, so I mean, that could be it. But he goes down hard, and then of course you could tell like that was not supposed to happen. But you know, Ligero goes out there and they finish it up. Like, he goes out there, you know, beats him up for a second, throws him back in, and then he goes to do something. But then of course Mysterio counters and drops him onto the rope, and then hits the 619, and then hits a frog splash after that off the top rope. So Mysterio wins it, and yeah, Ligero lost, but you know what? This is how you should lose right here. You shouldn't lose the Grado. I'm still pissed about that. That was the most retarded fucking match, and that's not an insult against retarded people. Even they were upset about that match. No, you know, that's just ridiculous. So I'm really glad to see that Ligero kind of had a change. Like, it's subtle, but it's enough. Like, it just, I don't know, it's really, like I said, that's what about WCPW. Everybody's fleshed out. Everybody's, you know, 3-dimensional. It's not just like cookie cutter, good guy, bad guys. It's like, you know, they have layers to them. And this is just another layer of Ligero. Other than this new attitude, new tights. He's got the little trunks on instead of the, you know, the actual, you know, long tights. So just little things like that I'm really digging. So really hoping Ligero kind of pushes forward. I would love to see him go maybe back after the internet title. I don't want to see Gabriel Kidd lose it just yet, but I like to see, you know, Ligero maybe heelishly try to, you know, take the title from him, see where that leads. But yeah, so Rey Mysterio wins it right there. So So now we go on to the actual Rumble. Now, I'm not going to hit this thing beat by beat. Once again, I urge you guys, this was definitely one of those where people are just like, well, I'm not buying extra, blah, blah, blah. This is why you buy extra right here. Like, seriously. Like, I could imagine paying $14.99 per pay-per-view. Like, just pay the $6.99 a month and watch the pay-per-view and get little extra stuff out of it. This was totally worth it right here. For the Rumble alone, it was worth it, in my opinion. Once again, I'm not going to do a blow-by-blow play here, but I do got my little list of notes here because there's just too much shit that happened in this thing. We kick things off with Drew Galloway, and he comes out there, and of course, he's #1. And, of course, he tells everybody, like, hey, you know what? Like, you know, I'm not dropping this title. Like, you know, people think I'm just going to drop it. I'm just going to give up. He goes, no. That's not who I am. I'm a fighter. So, you know, just bring it on right now. And #2, Martin Kirby, which I was just like, yes! And I was just like, once again, I was just like, you know, it's okay if Kirby comes out early because as long as he has a good, solid run and he gets eliminated, it's no problem because he's still the Magnificent 7 winner. So he can always cash that in. So I was not worried about that. In fact, that's how I figured the event would work is like Galloway would actually win it and then Kirby would come back out and beat him Money in the Bank style. So that's how I honestly thought the night was going to go right there. And I was wrong. Thankfully, I was wrong. So anyways, we get Kirby out there. And dude, Kirby, took it right to him. Like, does not fuck around. Like, that's what I loved about was Kirby kept the comedy to a minimum. Like, he was all business tonight, and I love that. Man, he took the fight right to Galloway. And then #3 was Drake. And I was like, all right. And then Drake is thrown out almost immediately. And I was like, oh, wait, was he pinned? No, he was pinned. Sorry, he was hit the Future Shock DT, and he was pinned by Galloway. I was like, fuck. I'm a fan of Rumbles, but I like having a lot of people in there. I hate when, like, it's just... Like, I do that every now and then. Like, once in a great while at the WWF Royal Rumble, or sorry, WWE Royal Rumble, showing my age there, they'll do a thing where, like, they'll just have, like, one or two guys fight, and every time's like... You know, I remember, like, Austin and Triple H did that one year where they're just in there, and, like, 3 or 4 guys came out, and he just kept throwing them out one at a time. I'm like, no, I want to see a Rumble. I don't want to see you two guys in slobber knocker mode. So... I wasn't too worried about that, but then when a kid fight comes out and gets thrown out, I was like, oh shit, like don't do this, don't do this, like give me a Rumble. Luckily they give me a Rumble. I get my Rumble and we get tons of bodies in there. Kid fight makes his comeback, I guess, WCPW. No Liu King Sharp though. Like I was like, oh, Kid Fight's here, I'm sure we'll see Liu King later on. No. Kid Fight solo tonight. Didn't help him out though, got his ass tossed out. Bad Bones came in and he brings in a ball bat and I was like, yes! We're adding it now, baby. Bad Bones comes in, makes an impact. He's the first one that actually kind of stays without getting tossed, you know, unceremoniously to the side. And he does a lot of damage to that ball bat. Then Alex Gracie comes out next, and of course he has his little bag of toys. He's got his fighting sticks, and at one point he brings out nunchucks. And I'm really liking that. Like literally, I was like, hell yes. Archer comes out next. I really dug that. We got both Prospect members out there. Huge pops for both of them, which I was really happy to to hear. And then Scott Wainwright rolls out there, and his theme song gets switched over to this ridiculous song. It sounded like King Ross was singing it, but his old man's a dustman. I love it. Carrying over just a random little bit from the WTF show into a pay-per-view. I'm down with that. I really am. So he's noticeably pissed off about that. And then coming in at #9 was Primate, but he made an entrance, I'll tell you, because as Sky Wainwright, again, I think, so they're all, because Sky Wainwright brought his title in. He's co-holder, tactile came in, swung that around for a little bit. Primate comes out, and he's wheeled down the cart by King Ross, and I'm thinking, I felt like this is pretty cool. Like, King Ross has like this weird relationship with Primate that they do on Twitter and on WTF show and everything. So I mean, it kind of made sense, but I'm thinking, like, where is Jim Dark Candy? Now, Candy was on Twitter, and he said, like, he's still recovering from the injuries from his Orlando beating, which, that's great. That's good continuity right there. But I'm also thinking, like, how the fuck did King Ross get a hold of Primate? Like, how'd this work? But he has him in the cage, and then he releases him from the cage, and then he has a trash can. Primate goes down there and goes after Scott Wainwright, which I loved. I fucking loved it. And then, so then we get Hugo Guerrera, who doesn't really do a whole lot. Zach Gibson, he comes out there, and I'm going to kind of jump around chronologically here if you don't mind. He goes out there, and like his main thing was he kept rolling out to outside. Like he was spending a majority of his Rumble outside. Now, people were getting eliminated left and right here, except for Kirby and Galloway. They're the ones that stay in this, like they Iron Man this thing all the way through. But Gibson, he stays there for quite a bit. He's always outside and constantly getting on the headset. And I'll skip ahead here a little bit later on. He goes out there and he starts running his mouth, and he keeps like doing it toward like Bennett. Like he keeps including Bennett on this, and so Bennett gets up at one point, puts on his elbow pad, and then he fucking pops him one outside. And then, of course, throws him in the ring, and then he gets taken out. So I thought that was kind of cool right there. Rockstar Spud. This is someone I don't know who the fuck it is. I've seen his name on, like, TNA videos, but I have since boycotted TNA, so fuck him. And so he's like the TNA Heath Slater. I'm taking it. Like, I'm a rock star. Huge pop. Like, I was shocked about that. I was like, really? Like, this guy must be a big deal in TNA. So there you go. Anyway, he comes out there. He actually does pretty good too. He goes for quite a bit. He gets an elimination here and there, but he eventually gets taken out. We get the return of Johnny Moss. Also, it should be interesting to note that we were minus the Liam Slater completely. I was really shocked about that. I was like, oh shit, Moss is there. We'll see Slater. No, it's just Moss. Moss cleans house. Does really good. Loved his performance. Travis Banks comes out there, the first of like many people who will do double duty. Well, I guess that's not true. We already had Guerrero, so the second of many who do double duty. Banks comes out there. He makes it for a long time too. We get a situation where BT Gunn makes it out there. They join forces, and they spend a lot of time on the floor as well, which I really like. Cause that's smart. Like that's what I'd be doing. Like every battle royal I'm in, I just roll outside and just chill for a little bit. And then at number 15. When right before it hits, he's giving it away. Matt Striker's hinting that there's something in the air. He feels like he's gonna do something, and then boom, his music hits, and he gets up and jumps in there. Now, I was honestly expecting one of the commentators to jump in there, but I didn't think it was gonna be Matt Striker. I thought it was gonna be Stu Bennett. So the fact that Matt Striker's the one that jumped in there really surprised me. I was like, oh, and I was like, well, they ain't gonna do it twice. So I knew right then Bennett was not going in. But Striker goes in there, street clothes, like literally just goes in there and rumbles it up, which. Really good stuff right there. I really like that. And then he effectively just gets slaughtered and then taken out at some point. Didn't get a whole lot of offense. It was weird. Like, he would just, like, every time the camera would just kind of go to him randomly, he was just doing, like, he would just be, like, choking somebody, but it looked really bad. Like, almost like he was comically miming choking somebody. Because, like, the other guy's not even, like, reacting to it yet, but he's just like, yeah, I'm choking you. At one point, like, he just goes to him randomly, and he's just, like, his eyes, he's blind. He's like, I'm trying to film away. I'm like, what are you doing? It was weird, but at the same time, I like the surprise of him getting in there. And when he gets thrown out, he don't just return to the commentary. I went for that. Like he took an ass whooping. Like sure, he's not just gonna like walk back to the commentary booth. Like, all right, I'm back. No, he leaves. Like after he gets taken out, he's gone. So and then we get Shaw Samuels, which I've never heard of this guy before. Big man with suspenders. But yeah, he comes in, kicks a little ass. Doug Williams comes out. I know Good Girl Stray was upset that he probably didn't make it too far. He gets taken down by Prestige pretty early on. BT Gunn comes out after that, and he gets pinned. And then Prince Ameen rolls out there, and I'm like, well, maybe he can avenge, sort of, redeem himself. That's a better word. He should maybe he can redeem his loss to Brandi Rhodes earlier. But the next is Viper, and Viper puts a hurt on. Now, once again, the Viper looked like legit in there, and so when she tosses or clotheslines of Ameen out, I was like, yeah, that seems about right. That felt normal there. And then Galloway dumps her over, which I thought was awesome. And then Ray Phoenix comes out there. Doesn't really add much. Adam Pacitti. Yes, Pacitti rolls out there. It was weird seeing him without glasses. Like, I know, he takes them off, but still, I was just like, oh, shit. Because at first when he comes out, I was like, who? I said you love it. And I was like, that's Pacitti's name. But like, who's this guy? But I was like, oh, that's Pacitti. Dude, he had like the skimpiest fucking trunks. It was hilarious. He comes out there and just goes after Kirby, not making an impact at all. And then, of course, he backs into, I think it was Rockstar Spud and Galloway, and they pick him up, and then they give him they feed him to Kirby, and Kirby hits him with a Sable Bomb. Takes him out, and that was the end of that. Pacitti not only gets pinned, he gets also like dumped out of the ring too, which I thought was great. Number 23, El Ligero, double duty, and actually got a different outfit on too, which I really like that. And he's wearing like the pants, and he was definitely more of a good guy here. He does like one little shitty thing, but it's like it makes sense because of the relationship between the two. The fact that he goes after Kirby a couple times, I really like because they have that history as well. They have history. Once again, there's a lot of continuity here that I'm glad they once again, they could have easily just made this a regular, boring Rumble, but there's little mini storylines that they were using throughout, and I love that. So, yeah, to see him and Kirby go at it, and then they even acknowledge that on commentary, like, hey, these guys have some history, and I was like, well, yeah, that's exactly it. Number 24, you want to talk about a pop? This was one of those pops right here. Fat Ligero, and I was like, yes! And dude, the stare down between him and El Ligero, and then they do this like mime in a mirror kind of thing, dude. I loved it. I just loved it. I loved every bit of that. And then of course, what I loved about that was, well, okay, the next one's this Dave Mastiff. This is the first time I've ever seen this guy. This guy's huge too. Like I was like, holy shit, Mastiff. I love that Ligeros decided, you know, the Ligeros were going to team up and take out Mastiff, but then El gets behind Fat and just kind of pushes him into it. Fat Ligero is eliminated. Didn't last long. Lasted longer Pacitti though. Remember that. Lasted longer Pacitti. 26, Cody Rhodes goes out there. Now I'm gonna say right now, from here on out, none of these guys really make an impact, even though these are all big names coming out at the end. Not a whole lot going on with these guys. Like, seriously. Like, really disappointed that, like, these guys didn't rumble longer. But Cody Rhodes comes out, and then out comes Rey Mysterio. And they did get Mastiff out, but for the most part, it was just kind of like, they're out there. But then when Joe Coffey comes out, he takes them both out. Coffee, number 28, and I was like, son of a bitch, like he just took them both out. Like literally, now granted, it does make sense, I guess, kayfabe, they're wore out. Cody Rhodes was just in a hellacious triple threat where he suffered possibly a concussion. Mysterio just wrestled against Ligero prior to this match, so not a whole lot. So I get it. And once again, I understand, like, you know, they're in, you know, real life, they're pulling double duty, so I get that. But just kind of like, man, I want to see these guys go long. You know, I want to see, like, you know, I love both of you guys. I want to see them go for a while, and we didn't get that. And Coffey doesn't make it long either. Like, he's out there for a little bit. We get, you know, 3, you know, Prestige members at this point. Sorry, excuse me. But we'll move on because up next, number 29, Rampage, and he instantly just dumps out Banks and Gun. I was like, holy shit. And then of course you know, he goes right after Coffey, and then number 30 we got Joe Hendry, and I knew he was starting as soon as, like, you know, we was like, well, who's left? And, you know, and everybody like, I don't know who could be left. I was like, it's gonna be Hendry. Like, everybody else is pulling double duty, like, it's not that surprising. And I was like, the fact that Hendry, you know, didn't win the internet title, I was like, well, he's going to win the championship. And at that point I honestly thought he was gonna win it. I figured Kirby may come out and steal it from him, and we may get Kirby Hendry, you know, feud right there. But I was like, dude, Hendry's got this. And sure, it was Hendry. I was like, oh shit, here comes Hendry. Hendry goes out there, and you know, and then of course at that point though, oh shit, I should have threw it away too early. I can't remember. Yeah, no, sorry. So he goes out there and he takes Rampage out. That's what it was. I couldn't remember who the final 4 was. So this is our final 4, and this leaves Joe Coffey and Joe Hendry on one side, both fresh. Especially Coffey, because Coffey was supposed to have a match of Patron, didn't happen. So he's, you know, ready to go. And then you got Hendry, number 30. Even though his match was, you know, 2 matches prior, still he had a long time to, you know, rest here. And then you got numbers 1 and 2, Galloway and Kirby still in there. Final freaking 4. And then, of course, Coffey's taken out. We got our 3. And then Hendry uses the Future Shock to pin Galloway. And I was like, holy shit. Pins Galloway. Galloway is eliminated. And I was like, oh wow. I was expecting to get pinned by his own finisher. And that was what really kind of surprised me there. But Hendry did it, making him look just awesome and incredible as well. And then we come down to our final 2. Martin Kirby, Joe Hendry, and I figured we was gonna get like some kind of like prestige. Because at this point now, like, you know, my entire theories are out the window, and I was like, well, how's it gonna happen? I was like, well, probably Hendry's gonna win this thing. I was like, we'll probably get some, you know, prestige shenanigans, and then of course Kirby gets the upper hand, and he goes for the Zoidberg elbow drop, and I was like, no! Like, I was yelling no at the computer screen. I was like, don't do this! Are you kidding me? You got this in you get this in the bag. Don't waste the Zoidberg elbow drop like you do that when you're fighting Drake or Kid Fight or somebody who doesn't matter. This is for the championship. And he goes up there and he hits the Zoidberg elbow drop. And I was like, oh! And right there, I mean, at this point, no matter what happens after this, I'm just like, it doesn't matter. Like, he hit the move. Like, it's like when he first hit the Sable Bomb. Remember when he first hit the Sable Bomb? I was like, ah. Same thing. I was just like, oh, he hit it. Like, it was great. And then he pins Hendry. 1, 2, 3. New WCPW champion, Martin Kirby. Oh, it was great. It was the greatest thing ever. And once again, I was just like, you know, it's funny because I'm sure people were just like, well, it makes no sense. He's already got the, you know, Magnificent 7, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. He's got that in his back pocket now. He is the champion, and it's well deserved, and it was so great. Like, he is like the hottest thing in WCPW right now. Yes, you put a title on him. You put the fucking title on him. Oh, Kirby is the champion, and I am so happy. Oh, this is great. Yes, there it is. Martin Kirby wins it. He is the new WCPW champion, winner of the championship Rumble, and he was number 2. Which, I'll tell you now, he was number 1. Like, seriously. I always thought it was funny when, like, they would put more emphasis on number 1. I'm like, well, you know, he starts the same time number 2 starts. So, like, technically, you know. But he went there, and this was a long one. Like, he was in for the long haul, and he wasn't. And, like, early on, he gets taken out of the ring. But for the rest of it, he was back in there. He was in the mix every step of the way. He tied Drew Galloway with the most eliminations, 4-piece. And, yeah. Dude, new champion. New champion. It goes without saying, this was my match of the night. Probably should have said that at the very beginning, but yeah, I think you guys probably knew that was coming. Yeah, there you have it. No regrets. Overall, I loved it. Like I said, and I'm not saying like take the Ameen Brandi Rhodes match out, because once again, for what it was, alright. To me, just once again, you guys know how I am. I don't do comedy. Especially unrealistic comedy, so that's you know, I'm all for, like, if it's done right, sure. You know, had he had like one arm behind his back, you know, something like that. But the fact that he just like straight up gets jobbed out, the Brandi Rhodes was like, it was on par with Grado Ligero. I'll just say that. But that aside, everything else was good. Like I said, the pre-show was hot. Like I said, really good. The fact that Travis Banks got a huge singles win, always awesome. Kid winning the Internet Championship. Ligero Mysterio, like I said, crazy ending aside, still a solid match. And then the Rumble itself. The Rumble was so good throughout. I loved everything about it. I thought that everything was great. Great storytelling throughout. The fact that, you know, everybody, for the most part, they had something to do inside there. It wasn't just... Like, I felt like at the Rumble, the Kurt Angle Rumble, which only had 15, it seemed like there was less going on there. And not because of the people... Because I feel like with a smaller Rumble, you can tell more stories, because like you get more people, or, you know, less, you know, people, so you can actually flesh out everybody. No, like there was like nothing going on now. That was just like bodies randomly getting thrown out. Here, it was a great story throughout. Like, I haven't seen WWF do a Rumble like that in a long time. So no, this was great. It really was. Yeah, I loved it. I can't say that enough. This video is running too long right now, so I'll wrap it up. I love this video. I thought it was incredible. Let me know what you thought. If you watched this, and hopefully you did. At this point, if you're a WCPW fan and you don't have extra, what the fuck? This is why you get extra. This right here. This was price of admission. This was worth the $6.99 you pay a month. Right here. Yeah, so let me know what you guys thought of the Rumble, no regrets in general. Tell me what you liked, what you disliked about, whatever. Just drop those comments down below. And guys, you know, thank you for watching. Tune in here in about 20, 30 minutes or so. I'll have the top 10, which we got some changes. We got some changes. So definitely tune in for that. Guys, that's all I got. Thank you so much for watching. I don't know when they're doing the Mexican qualifier today, I think, as I'm filming, but they're not going to release it, I think, till Friday. So, yeah, it should be Friday. We'll be doing the World Cup, Pro Wrestling World Cup Mexican qualifier, which I'm pumped for, which makes sense. They had a lot of the Mexican wrestlers here tonight already. So I'm guessing we'll get a preview. You know, got a preview for the Mexican qualifier at No Regrets. So there you go. And that's the only thing now. That's the only thing now is like, okay, Galloway dropped the title. They got to fill a spot. They got to fill his spot. Hopefully he'll fill a spot out of the Mexican qualifier, or he'll put it up in a match. I'm much rather see that. I'm much rather see him actually fight another Scottish wrestler in a one-on-one match, or maybe even like a triple threat, or you know, a mini battle royal, whatever. But have it for his spot. But yeah, that's all I got, guys. So thank you for watching. If you guys hung around this long, thank you. You guys are truly dedicated, and that means a lot to me. Guys, share and subscribe if you haven't already. Show this video that thumb and love, and follow me over on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I was almost gonna do like a live video on my Instagram during, and I don't know if that's something you guys would want to see, because I feel like I don't know how long you can go live either. But I was like, part of me was like, oh, let's go live, and maybe just like that could be my live reaction thing. Would just be doing it live on Instagram. But I'm not sure if anybody would watch that. Let me know what you guys think about that. If you want me to, you know, maybe at the next event, live event or whatever, to do like a live feed on my Instagram. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. So yeah, that's all I got, guys. Once again, I can't say it enough. Seriously, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Till next time.